What up, air signs? A little elemental update for y'all. How y'all doing? How y'all been? I know I've been a little flaky this month. Yeah. And I apologize. It's kind of feeling like I'm not getting to zodiac readings until next year. But when I do, 12/21, 1221. Nice. Anyway, I'm gonna try to start the new year off strong. So look out for those. In the meantime, I figured the least I could do is some elementals because they're pretty quick. I only have 4, It's winter, it's holidays. Anyway, I'm gonna jump right in and see what's going on, fam. Okay, so it's funny. The Six of Cups just came up, which I always associate with, it's pleasure, but it's also cups, which is water. And I just associate the Six of Cups with, yonic pleasure, okay? Feminine pleasure, if you will. And so what song popped in my head was Shaking the Tree, Peter Gabriel. So he's like, maybe he's looking for his womanly side. Let him feel. You had to be so strong. It's a good one. Feminist anthem. Great tune. Great guy. Love that shit. Check it out if you don't know it. You had to be so strong. Did nothing wrong at all. We're gonna break it down. Wow. Big pile on its side here, air signs. Maybe a little confusion right now. Kind of like, we'll get there. Feels pretty good. I feel like okay, feels good. Bottom of the deck, Knight of Swords for the air signs. Good place to be. Hardworking dude coming in to save the day. We love it. That's great. Okay. Work life of air signs. What's going on with the finances, the money, the career? It's so weird. I did not have a cough at all today, and I felt one coming on. As soon as I was about to start this video, I almost didn't light the incense because my throat was just feeling irritated. And you're like, well, you just smoked weed. It's like, yes, smoked weed earlier too. Or, tobacco or whatever you think is in that pipe. Anyway, it was weird. I feel like maybe some of you have something to say. You need to get something off your chest and physically actually say it out loud. Alright? It's not like something you can put in a message. It's like you have to talk this one out. Even if it's saying it out loud to yourself. I know for me, sometimes it helps when you vocalize something. It takes away the power of a thought, because your thoughts can create anxiety, which can create physical pain, which it just gets out of control really quick. Maybe say something in the mirror. Right? Maybe say it to someone you trust, just to be like, oh, yeah, that is kind of ridiculous, isn't it? Just something with the throat here. Yeah, I feel like you need to say something. Say something. Alright? If you see something, speak up. We got 2 demons for you, which fire signs have 4 today, so we'll allow it. Especially because it's one I don't see very often. Okay, let's see about channeled messages for the air signs. See what special things are gonna come up there. Alright, I mean, that's good. I don't usually shuffle these too much, and of course that happens. I haven't been, I dropped 3, but I only see 2. Today, alright, hold up. Sorry, I really had to find that shit. Okay, today I've been sort of just interpreting cards, not really tapping into any specific messages. Just that kind of vibe, just like we're keeping it light, sort of. You know, we're not calling upon anybody, and we're not reading for anyone specific, so there's no real, like, messages, just some messages, alright? I'm gonna drink some water. I might have to put out the incense. I'll give it a couple minutes. No, it just don't feel right. I don't know. I have done quite a few videos tonight. Could just be that. I don't know. I literally started right before this video. It's very bizarre to me. Anyways, hi again. Got your cards. Okay, to start, again, 6 of Cups, pleasure. Okay. Being an air sign means being the masculine element, whereas water will mean the feminine element. So you can think, if you are a man and you're with a woman, think of it that way. If you are an air sign and a water sign, think of it that way. If, you know, you could be, whatever, you get what I'm saying. Whatever this pleasure is meant for the divine feminine, whether that's you or a partner or a part of you that you need to tap in with, okay? We have a face down card here. I suddenly have the hiccups. What is going on? I really feel like air signs, you gotta get some shit off your chest. You need to speak up. You need to say what you are feeling, say what you're thinking. Again, it might even just be saying it out loud to yourself so that you can work some stuff out, okay? It might even be asking someone else to speak up if you really feel like, well, I don't have anything to say to anyone, you know. It might be asking someone else to speak their mind. It's just, this feeling is not going away, and I already said that, and now I'm reiterating it again and again. I'm to the point where I'm like, pause this video and do it. You feel me? Say it to me right now. What do you need to get off your chest? Okay? Do you feel better? Okay? Alright. Alright. Moving on. 3 of Swords, sorrow. Okay, so you might be sad right now, right? And maybe that's sort of what you need to speak on, is like, I am sad, this sucks, blah. You're not in a horrible position, you're not in a life-threatening position, you're just in like a very kind of energy right now. But you also have the Fool, okay? So you're about to embark on a journey, and you might be sad for what you're leaving behind, or just sad, and that's what's leading you to this new path where you're like, these things aren't making me happy anymore, I'm gonna do something new. And then you have 4 of Cups, which is luxury, so getting what you want, being successful on this path, right? But then there's Judgment, and what I'm feeling with this Judgment is so funny. I feel like earth signs are always called judgmental because we will say what we're thinking or say what no one else will say. But I feel like air signs very internally judgmental, and not just towards yourself, towards other people too. You just don't express it in the moment. You know, you sit on it, you deliver it in a sly way of like asking questions or working it out, you know, working your way into it. taking some roundabout way of saying it. You know, if you fear judgment or you feel like you're being judgmental and that's why you're keeping your mouth shut, now is not the time to be thinking, who cares if they think you're judgmental? Because of shit. We literally, as earth signs, live with it. Okay? Even, it's like, could be totally open-minded about something, you know, and it's still just like, you're being judgmental because you said. This thought in this conversation is so exhausting. I totally see why you're avoiding it. You do not want to be perceived as judgmental. You're having a very hard time with that. But doing what you need to do to be happy is nothing to be ashamed about. And if you need to tell someone something to get there, don't let this perceived judgment hold you back, okay? It's time to speak up for yourself. We have this like on its side pile here, and it is face up, so I feel like that should be the next move, but I'm going to reveal this card. Four of Wands, completion. You need to get over this, right? What's this face down card in the beginning here? The Hierophant. Taurus. Taurus energy. What did I just say? What did I just say? Earth signs are known for being judgmental. We are notorious for it. For being opinionated, for being even rude, blunt, whatever. You need to sort of channel that energy and not worry about that judgment or what people will think. The Hierophant also is a man of tradition, okay? Pretty rigid, really likes his plans, really likes sticking to the plan. Got the plan from someone else that's been passed down, and he's like, this is what we're doing, you know? And you're like, oh, I don't want to. That's sad to me. Like, I don't want to go down this path. I don't want to stick to the plan. I don't want to have this traditional thing, okay? I don't want to follow in my father's footsteps or whatever. You know, you don't like that. You're trying to kind of cut that out and be on your own path. All right? I think something's really bothering you. It could be a Taurus that's bothering you, okay? Of course, I have so many motherfucking air signs in my life. Come at me, bro! I'm kidding, but the thing about the Hierophant is, yeah, tradition and shit. You might just be sick of the norm. You're kind of sick of following in the line or coloring in the lines, if you will. You're just over it. You're wanting to break free from it, and you're afraid what people will think if you do. So, gotta get rid of those constraints. Let this cycle be over. This cycle of you doing what you feel you need to do and then like not wanting to do it, and then like maybe embarking on this new path and really getting what you want, but then like fear of judgment, or somebody says one thing and you're back to the shit, you know, 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. I'm getting Heidi Klum, either you're in or you're out, okay? You're in and out, it feels like, okay? So, tap into your feminine side, check in with your female partner, be the woman you want to be, whatever. Yonic energy here. This cycle needs to end, okay? I'm going to go with these face down cards. I'm just getting that feeling like I should. 5 of Swords, defeat. You don't do anything about it. Annoying. Annoying. 7 of Swords, futility. You don't do anything about it because you think it's pointless to do anything about it. Okay. Princess of Discs. Sort of starting over. Sort of maybe going a different route. Maybe you're like, okay, I can't change the path I'm on. And if I'm not going to go on this journey of self-fulfillment, maybe I can just do this differently. Maybe I can plant new seeds in my current field or whatever it is, you know. 8 of Swords, interference. Wow. Princess of Swords. Okay, so these face down cards, crazy because you got sword, sword, disc, sword, sword. Air is swords, air sign reading. Hierophant, Taurus, earth sign, and then Princess of Discs, earth. Okay, so if this is a Taurus or earth sign, I'm seeing them again, coming back in a sense. If this might be about your money. I didn't consider that as a possibility. You might be like working a job that you really fucking hate. You really hate and you want to quit. And you know, it might be like you've tried other jobs and you like them and you end up going back or something like that. Or maybe you know that the money's too good to actually leave, and every time that you think you come close, you can't actually quit because somebody's there saying, well, how are you going to pay the bills? Or what are you going to do? And blah, 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 blah. And so you never end up quitting, okay? It could be financial, now that I'm seeing the Princess of Discs. However it applies to you. Lots of swords. Whoa, 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 whoa. You totally give up on working on it, right? Ending the cycle or speaking your mind or whatever. You just give up because you feel like it's totally pointless. But then you kind of start over, but with experience, you know, not starting from scratch, starting from experience, planting new seeds, letting something develop, right? Making the best of it. And then there's like some kind of interference. Something happens. Someone comes along or something comes along that kind of like, it's almost like you're starting to harvest. Starting to harvest. And then somebody cuts your crops. And you're like, what the fuck, dude? And then Princess of Swords. You know, you're like trying to be this Princess of Discs and plant yourself, root yourself, get grounded, but it's the slightest inconvenience and you're just swinging again. It's almost out of control. Almost out of control. Not quite. I just, you know, it's not very specific, but just say what you need to say. Is that John Mayer or something? Okay, so these are all on its side. Alright, so keep that in mind. When a card is on its side, it can either be tipped upright and be what it is, or it can be tipped in reverse and be the opposite. So these are all on its side, but I think they're all facing the same way. Okay, so we have the Queen of Cups. Good chance that it's a mother of some sort. If you're a mother, if you have an earth sign mother, I'm sorry, water sign mother, but maybe earth sign mother, because this was about a Taurus, and this is about a mother. So if that is you, then that's what that would be about. But Queen of Cups often does represent mothers, the nurturer, compassionate, filling. Okay. Prince of Discs, having to start over, having to plant again. The Prince of Discs isn't quite at the level that the Princess of Discs is, but because there was some interference and some backtracking, of course it would come up as the Prince of Discs. Can't have two princesses, so I think this is just representing being back where you were at that phase. Maybe your mom encourages you, or she puts you on the right track. Maybe she helps you financially, whatever it is. And then Prince of Wands, she might help you financially, but she might be wrecking you emotionally. This seems like a lot to put on your mom or whatever, air signs. I don't know. You might be a mother. It can also be that, right? Where you're doing your best to be this loving, nurturing woman or woman figure that you need to be. But you feel like you're constantly starting over and maybe not even getting through to them. You know, little fuckboy energy here, okay? Not necessarily you. If you're a mother and you have a son, this seems pretty specific. If you are dealing with your mother and feeling like she has this effect on you, it could be that. Of course, air is a masculine element, and so the princes would show up because it's masculine rather than the princesses. But the princes are also, like I said, they're just not in the same place as the princess. They are a little behind, a little underdeveloped, okay? emotionally immature, financially unstable, but like I guess they're trying. They're like starting to put in the effort or whatever. But then we also have the Tower. Okay, so this situation, be it with your mother, be it with your son, be it within yourself, it's totally falling apart. It's totally falling apart. You don't take the necessary steps to say what you need to say and do what you need to do, and you keep falling back and having to start over, or maybe even fighting with people. You're really not getting anywhere. And the more that you struggle to stay in place because you refuse to move forward in the way that you need to move forward, the harder it's going to get, the more chaotic it'll be. Okay? We have lust. All right? This can be obsession. You might be fixated on this situation, this event, this chaos. It can be a Leo, if you're dealing with a Leo or a fire sign in general. It can also be just physical attraction and sensuality. It could be something like you're distracting yourself from your actual problem with something like sex. You know what I mean? We have the Magician, manifesting, sometimes seen as an air sign. I think like some people associate it with Gemini. But the Magician is the manifester. So regardless of what is going on, you still have the power to decide what you want, okay? And then we have the Ace of Discs. So just focus on money. Try not to worry about your family. Try not to worry about relationships or anything like that. Just try to focus on your physical state of being and your physical life, okay? Like money, home, investments, which is strange. I advise someone else not to invest, but I'm advising you to invest. Or if you have already made an investment, works out. It's good. You're good. I think no matter what path you choose, because it sounds like you're hitting a fork in a road and you need to choose a path and you're kind of jumping from path to path. It's kind of like pick a timeline, because no matter what you choose, you'll be happy. All right? And then Two of Discs, change. It all could change in an instant, so why not be the change, right? So these were on its side. That sounded good, upright. Imagine without it. Imagine you didn't have the support of your mom. Imagine you weren't a mother. Imagine that you had no son, or you were feeling no emotions and everything was just calm and tranquil and there was no lust in your life, I guess, or you didn't have this Leo and you had no control for yourself, negative, financial ruin, unhappy, and nothing ever changes. So maybe you need your mom more than you want to admit. Maybe you don't have the right mindset, because of course Cups is all about attitude and perspective, so this could be you. Maybe you'd be nothing without motherhood, you know. Not that that's everything we are, but I just feel like there might be someone struggling with it right now. It's your life absolutely would not be better without them, and their life wouldn't be better without you, and your life isn't better without them. Just like, you know, however these cards apply to you, whatever these relations are, whatever it is that you need to say, whatever path you're going, all of it. Embrace every step and every process and every person and every situation. Embrace it. Okay? That was deep. I feel like the air sign vids are always like so lighthearted and easy and everything, but this was like, damn, y'all are just faking it. I don't want anyone to judge me. Bitch, we gonna judge anyway. Who cares? Come on. Just come to the party. Bitch a little, cares, you know. Or stick up for yourself if that's the case. It doesn't have to be mean and negative to be honest, you know. Sometimes it's good honesty. Sometimes it's like, maybe you need to say nice things to people, like, hey, I never told you, like, I really appreciate that one time, or like, I'm you know, I think you're so beautiful, or some dumb shit, you know. It doesn't have to be negative necessarily. It just felt pretty heavy. So just start speaking your mind more. That's all. And if it pisses people off, then it pisses people off. You know? But it's channel your inner Taurus and just fucking say that shit. Taurus is ruled by the throat. You got the Hierophant, that little tickle, that whole thing. Yeah, take it from us, okay? Speak up. Say it. Even if it's to yourself in the mirror, alright? Anyway, moving on to the demons, the work life of air signs. I think Gangagramma, right? Yep, Gangagramma. Beware of excessive pride, bragging, or not judging a situation or knowing all of the facts before getting involved. Page 69. Yeah, beware of excessive pride, bragging, or not judging a situation or knowing all of the facts before getting involved. Don't run to the office saying, I told you so. Okay, just chill. Chill. Don't get too ahead of yourself. If you got a promotion, don't rub it in anybody's face if it hasn't gone through yet. And even if it has, like, keep cool. Don't let that ego inflate or anything like that, okay? Keep it low. Keep it humble. Alright? Because things change very quickly. Okay, and then we have Zafan. Zafan? That's the one who doesn't come up much. Gangagramma came up earlier, but beware of being swept into a mob mentality of taking disputes and protests to violent or disruptive actions. Wow, that's crazy. I mean, there's been so many protests and looting and shit. Ew, I hate that I even said that. Protests. Property damage is totally acceptable in my opinion when lives are not being valued, because property will never amount to a human life. But this is saying try to stay away from it. Okay? If you have been out there protesting this year, it's okay to take a break. If it's become like your main job, more power to you. Kudos and thank you for being on the front lines for all of us. If you need a break, take a break. It's okay to sit on the sidelines, to catch rest, to catch up, and to get back to yourself. It is a very noble cause, and it is much appreciated, because a lot of us can't be out there, or choose not to be out there, or whatever the case may be, okay? It just seems like if you are protesting, or if you are an activist, you are allowed vacation time just as much as anyone else who does any kind of work. Remember that, alright? And you think, how can you rest when there's civil injustice? Yeah, I know, and it'll probably be there tomorrow, but what if you're not there? You know? You don't want to stress yourself out and something happened to you. Or if you're feeling sick, you need to stay home in quarantine. Like, anything like that. There's so many reasons to take breaks, and you've done a lot of the work. You've done a really good job. I feel like this is for someone very specific, but I'm just saying, it's just a year like this to get Zafan. When I said he doesn't show up much, I do feel like this is a specific message for someone who is actually protesting. Otherwise, if there's something going on at work, you know, like a union strike or something, you just have to really be careful. I don't know, always protect yourself. I totally stand with worker solidarity, but, you know, you have to do what you have to do. Be careful of being swept into a mob mentality. Interesting. Yeah, try to avoid violence and disruptive actions. Try to work things out with words, okay? That's the thing. If you are on the front lines or something, you can always write about it, or, you know, paint something to express yourself, or interpret this, or, you know, do whatever you gotta do. There are so many ways that you can participate without actively being out there. So even if you need to rest, there are things you can do. Same with, like, work, you know, instead of just being like, fuck this, maybe you can be the voice of reason that people need, okay? Don't just hear what they say. Yeah, you're right, you know, question it. Now, I'm not saying play devil's advocate, but just question it, okay? That's really intense. That's super serious. Did not like that. This is already 30 minutes. Holy shit, I was trying to keep them under 20. Didn't happen. All right. We have owl. Wise seeing, wise action. Yeah, okay. Whatever goodness you see, follow it. All right. Don't get caught up in my mentality. Go with the innovators, the leaders, the trendsetters, if you will. We have a skull of flowers creating through the ashes. This all feels very in tune. If this doesn't go well, or you're starting over, you finally spoke up for yourself and it didn't end well for you or whatever, it's alright. Time to phoenix, time to rise, okay? And then we have forgiveness, reducing burden. If this person didn't take it well, at least you spoke your mind. At least you said what you needed to say, right? All is forgiven, all is well. Don't carry that shit on your back. You know, if you say something and it upsets them, or they say something in return to upset you, then you know what? Just forgive. And maybe you don't have to forget, but forgiveness is just gonna lighten your load. So it's all gravy. And then we have eternal love. Love is love is love, and it transcends physical death. So this is probably a little I love you from someone on the other side. Or if you are really in love, then the person that you're in love with is definitely for lifetimes. Alright, so I think I'm just going to wrap it up there, to be honest. I usually like shuffling these more, but that feels like a pretty good ending. Remember what the doorman said. Feed your hand. Okay, here's the thing. Get some shit out so you can put more shit in. Digest, process, release, and then feed your head. Alright? I think that's what I got for y'all. Alright, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Or I mean, until the next time.